Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on the daily color for the beginning of the week. We are working with the Derwent Lightfast pencils, and we are starting on this cute bunny. The only thing I've done so far is I was blocking in the whites. I am doing a base of the bunny in white, and I did put white where this little wheat looking leaf is, and then used salmon for the inside of the ears. I'm going to be experimenting with a technique I use and have learned to use for drawing animal portraits, and we will see how well I can execute this in the book. It's usually a technique done on drafting film. I am not sure if I will be able to get the exact technique to work, but I think I can do a hybrid version of it. And it is a technique to give the illusion of fur. So in between each of the leaves here, I have gone through with the white. The white is a very cold white. I do also have, I showed you salmon. I have also pulled oyster, which if you look at the two colors, the oyster is also a slate pink tone. The technique I use for animal portraits is usually done with the luminance pencils by Karen Dash, using the buff titanium or the white. So I've actually never done this technique using the Lightfast white, nor have I done it on this particular paper. So we're just gonna see what we can come up with. But I thought while I was coloring the white in, I could at least give you guys a summary of how this is supposed to go down. I started out seeing that the bunny has this interesting leaf pattern on the chest that I would prefer to not emphasize, so I'm going to try to cover that up with brown first strokes. I'm going to go ahead now, and I haven't done the nose. So this might take a little bit of time. I'm not sure how far I will get because I don't want to have to rush this since it's based on an entire technique. So it's important that you see it through to the end. And I'm not in a hurry. Last week I did 3 pages. I had been feeling pretty underwhelmed with my 2 pages per week, so I was able to get a big 3rd image done. I'm actually, and I will confess, I am doing this early because I have a crafting event to attend virtually with my friend Libby. So we will be crafting all day on Memorial Day. So I am getting this done the day before so that I don't lose ground, and I also didn't want to be in a rush to do this. Not knowing how long we're going to be crafting, I didn't want to feel rushed tomorrow either. Okay, so I think I have established whites. This belly part is very interesting. There's this line, so I'm not sure what that is supposed to be, so we're just gonna pretend it's part of the bunny's belly fur. I have picked out 3 shades of brown, a light, medium, and a dark. And for sure we'll be using the medium and the dark. And then I also have picked out greens. That's pretty much, oh, and then the little bit of the pink for the ears that I already showed you. Okay, so I am going to begin with, this is the middle brown. We have names and no numbers. So I will be putting up pictures of these pencils so I don't have to type out these names. And that way you get them all completely as they are on the pencil themselves. So the lightest color is brown ochre, medium is Van Dyke brown, and natural brown is the darkness. And I am going to start with the middle brown. So you're going to see me moving the bunny around to get some illusion of bunny furs. This will be interesting because I am putting this over the top of a not very well hidden leaf pattern. This is definitely a technique that is not speedy on a good day. I sharpened these with the Dull 133, not wanting to risk any breakage in the jar link. Okay, so now I'm going to switch gears to the bunny's head. I will be following the fur in the direction it would be going naturally. And if I'm quiet, it's because I am concentrating. All right, I think I will finish this little bit of the leg, and then I'm going to switch to the dark color. Oh, but I gotta finish the other ear here. I can't see you guys while I'm focusing on this, so I really hope that this has stayed in focus. Okay, this is the dark natural brown. I was just doing a reverse flicking motion. Typically, you want to not have to do that so that the hairs go thick to thin with your flicking motion. So you should be flicking from the direction where the hair is attached to the skin and away, if that makes sense. So even if my technique isn't 100% working, the flicking technique I'm using will still be valid and will work. I didn't want to focus so much on removing the lines, so I just went ahead and let them be lighter than they would normally be. I'm not going to do much flicking on his nose. Not yet. His chest hair I'm envisioning longer, so I'm letting my strokes get longer. Okay, so I have a tool. It is called the slice tool. Of course, I'm left-handed, so it's upside down. And I am going to use this ceramic tip to create more hairlines. I know I keep saying the word hair, and it's kind of funny because there's no pun intended, but this is a hair, H-A-R-E. So if you look really close at my slice tool, I have a base of white, and I am doing the subtraction method by flicking away lines of the brown pencil to further emphasize the appearance of individual hairs. So that is what this is all about, is exploring this particular subtraction technique. And again, I can't really see because I have my camera set a certain way so that I can see very clearly out the side of where the camera is. So you should, in your view, be seeing me scrape away tiny, thin lines of hair to give the appearance of fur. And I can't do it that way. I am going to tilt it a little bit so that I can get I hope you guys can see what I am doing. I can see it. I won't know if you can see it until I do the review. So at this point, I can continue by coloring the rest of him brown and flicking the hairlines. And I think I will do that. I started with the middle, Van Dyke brown, which is the middle color, and natural brown is the dark color. So as I Get all of the body fur loaded up. Oh, you know, I think that's supposed to be a leaf. So I'm going to stop and skip that. Okay, how are we doing? I'm going to try to tilt him back. This is a really good example why doing animal portraits is so time consuming. All right, so his whole body, first layer is done. I'm gonna now do more dark. And you can have him be spotted. He can have little white paws, just whatever you want him to look like. Okay, I might move on. I don't mind his fur fading out toward the back, lighter and lighter in color. I want to get the greens blocked in, introduce you to the colors I picked. I really picked a 4-color blend that I can just mix and match the different colors to get some variation. All right, and then I still can go back through with the slice tool. And there's the furry bunny. Okay, so greens. I'm gonna actually change my angle, change the angle of the camera so that I can see, get some light over on the other side. I can definitely see the hair coat. And we have 4 greens. One of them I had to use from yesterday, and that's the grass green 70%. And then grass green, the 100% version. Vivid green and basil. Those are them. Blocking in some of the ear coloring. Yeah, see, I did that brown, and I see it was supposed to be grass. All right, that's the lightest, and I think I'm going to, this is the darkest that I have pulled. And then we'll meet them somewhere in the middle. Then we have these big leaves, so I'm going to go with, so this is the basil, and then I'm going to grab one of the middle tones. This, I think, is a middle tone. It's called Vivid Green. And it is Vivid Green. Now, how are we doing for time? 34 minutes. I'm looking for that's the lightest green, and this is grass green. The other one was the 70%. Unlike the Derwent Lightfast, the Derwent drawing, there are quite a few grays, dark, to use as shadows. So I will probably be looking for a shadow tone. I also have the white still here that I can use to do some blending. Right, I am going to go back to one of the darks. Basil's the darkest. I have not used, yeah, I have used Vivid Green. Let's go back to the basil. Just adding in little bits of shadow here and there. And then I bet I'm gonna have to figure out the darker shadows behind the scenes after we're done with our time. This is a dry feeling pencil. You can hear it. It's not scratchy, but it's definitely got a dry feel to it, and I can hear it. It's not as bad as a scratchy pencil, but it's not as buttery smooth feeling as I prefer. All right, that's a furry bunny. I might play more with the fur layers as well. We're at 39 minutes and 50 something seconds. So I think that I might switch now. You've got the idea of what I was trying to accomplish, and I do need to fix his nose. It needs to be a pink nose. I switched gears on you to the 70%, which is the lightest green. I'm just filling in the tips everywhere. I am going in the direction that I feel the veins of the leaves would go. All right. Setting the 4 greens down into my little keeper. I've grabbed the salmon. I have the natural brown. I am drawing some little flicks. You may see some white whiskers tomorrow. We'll see what I feel like doing. There we go. I like that better, where I'm kind of muting the black lines. Oh, that looks so much better. Okie dokie. There is one brown and green bunny. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit different of a technique. I hope you can see all these little lines that I put in with the slice tool. You can add and subtract and add and subtract. The trick in with this paper is to not go so heavy to actually scratch the paper. You don't want to do that. Okay, so tomorrow I may do a little bit more with the bunny, and then we're moving right along, and I will use Lightfast for this particular helicopter seed fall. It's a fall scene. Oops, sorry, that's me hitting the camera stand. Back to the bunny. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And again, I'm doing this early, but we will be back on Tuesday to our normal scheduled programming of the Daily Color, and I will see you all then.